All right, we are back. We are obviously waiting for everyone to come into the video again. We had just picked off on Genesis 6:19, where the commentary says that of the two of all living things that should be brought into the ark includes demons explicitly. That it's not because they didn't use two of every animal or anything like that, but specifically two of all living things, that was meant to include demons. So we'll wait for Doc to get back in here, connect back up. I don't know if I'm losing my voice or what. I feel like it's changed over the past 3 hours that we've been doing this. I will keep reading here until Doc gets in. Me'ha'ov lemineho umin ha'behema lemina. Of the fowl after its kind, and of the beasts after their kind. Mikol remes, of every creeping thing, ha'adama, on the ground, leminho, shnayim, mikol uvu, elech ha'chayot. Two of each shall come with you to preserve alive. Ve'ata, kach lecha mikol ha'me'achal, and for you, take for yourself every food, me'achal asher yachal, that is eaten, and gather it, ve'asafta elecha, unto yourself, ve'haya lecha ve'lahem le'achla, and it shall be for you and for them to eat. So go get all the food that you should eat, and then you're all going to eat it together. Cause linked in there any moment here. Ve'ya'as no'ah kachol asher, and asher siva ito oto Elohim ken asa. And Noah did according to all that God had commanded him, so he did. So the building of the ark, the gathering of food, the gathering of two of every creature, including demons. And now we have finished Genesis 6, which is my only goal for this week. We can talk about whatever now, man. Science, we're talking about.
So he says, all right, this is Jasher chapter 6.
Okay.
And at that time, after the death of Methuselah, the Lord said to Noah, go thou with thy household into the ark. Behold, I will gather to thee all the animals of the earth, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the air. They shall all come and surround the ark. Thou shalt go and seat thyself by the doors of the ark, and all the beasts, the animals, and the fowls shall assemble themselves and place themselves before thee. And such of them as shall come and crouch before thee, thou shalt take and deliver into the hands of thy sons, who shall bring them into the ark. So they have to come and bow.
Bow, submit, yeah.
Exactly. Let's see here. Who shall bring them to the ark, and all that will stand before thee, thou shalt leave. Sounds a lot like Gideon, doesn't it? Gideon's 300 men. Verse 3, I'm in Joshua chapter 6, verse 3. The Lord brought this about on the next day. The animals, beasts, and fowls came in great multitudes and surrounded the ark. And Noah went and seated himself by the door of the ark of all flesh that crushed before him. He brought into the ark, and all that stood before him he left upon the earth. Now this is a very funny story, verse 5. And a lioness came with her two whelps, male and female. The two whelps rose up against the lioness and smote her. I said, there's only two slots. Mama, you done lived your age now. You done see all the best days of your life. We want to live. I just find episode. Smote her and made her flee from her place, and she went away, and they returned to their places and crouched upon the earth before Noah. And the lioness ran away and stood in the place of the lions. And Noah saw this, wondered greatly, and he rose and took the two whelps and brought them into the ark. And Noah brought unto the ark from all the living creatures that were upon the earth, so that there was none left but which Noah brought into the ark. 2 and 2 came to Noah into the ark, but from the clean animals and clean fowl he brought 7 couples, as God had commanded him. And all the animals and beasts and fowls were still there. They surrounded the ark at every place, and the rain had not descended till 7 days after. Verse 11, and on that day the Lord caused the whole earth to shake, and the sun darkened, and the foundations of the world were raised, and the whole earth was moved violently. And the lightning flashed, and the thunder roared, and all the mountains in the earth were broken up, such as was not known to the inhabitants before. And God did this mighty act in order to terrify the sons of men, that there might be no evil upon the earth. And the sons of men would not return from their evil ways. And they increased the anger of the Lord at that time, and did not even direct their hearts to all of this.
Hey, did you hear there were 2 earthquakes like yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
I was talking to my team about that earlier today, as a matter of fact.
Nobody's directing any hearts.
No, they're not. From the book of Enoch says, the ark was completed according to the instructions laid down in the book of Raziel. Noah's next task was the gathering in the animals. No less than 32 species of birds and 365 of reptiles he had to take along with him. But God ordered the animals to repair the ark, and they trooped thither. And Noah did not have to do.
How many species of birds?
He said no less than 32 species of birds.
32 species of birds, and then 365 snakes.
Of reptiles, yeah.
Reptiles.
Mm-hmm. He had to take a.
365. This is the second time we've encountered 365.
Yep.
So interesting.
He had to take along with him. But God ordered the animals to repair the ark, and they trooped thither, and Noah did not have to do so much as stretch out a finger. Indeed, more appeared than were required to come. And God instructed him to sit at the door of the ark and note which of the animals laid down as they reached the entrance and which stood. The former belonged in the ark, but not the latter. Taking up his post as he had been commanded, Noah observed a lioness with her 2 cubs. All 3 beasts crouched, but the 2 young ones began to struggle with the mother, and she arose and stood up next to them. Then Noah led the. Oh, that's what happened. Oh. Joshua made
Calm the babies down.
Huh?
She was trying to calm the babies down.
Well, it was like there were 3 of them, and only 2 were allowed. But they both came and crouched down. So technically, they were all 3 allowed, but there only stops for 2. So then she stood up so that she would be disqualified.
Oh, they were fighting because they didn't want to be the one that was left behind.
Oh, that's why you got to read 3 different translations, Jesse. That's why you got to read Genesis and Joshua and Enoch.
That's why the lion is the noblest animal, probably, or something to do with their.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where was that? So, observe the crouched down with the young ones. She arose and stood up next to them. Then Noah led the 2 cubs into the ark. The wild beasts and the cattle and the birds which were not accepted remained standing about the ark all of 7 days. For the assembling of the animals happened 1 week before the flood began to descend. On the day whereon they came to the ark, the sun was darkened, and the foundations of the earth trembled. The lightning flashed, and the thunder boomed as never before. And yet the sinners remained impenitent. And not did they change their wicked hearts during those last 7 days.
Because obvious.
Right, because obvious.
They never do. All right. Well, I'm not going to crack open another chapter of Noah today.
No, that's why I just wrapped that up.
Yeah, because we're pretty deep in it, and then we could bring it around and talk about other stuff if you want to do that.
Yeah.
What's going on with you?
My little tea bags came in today.
Okay. Well, don't be giving secrets away. There's people watching, Doc.
I didn't say what they're gonna be used for. Now you made it more suspicious by saying that.
Well, that's coyote tricks. Well, I can tell you on this end, I dropped a new powder.
I just saw the post.
Well,
Ancestral courage.
Yes, it's
I love your write-up, by the way.
Well, thank you, Doc. Thank you. I wanted to do a Crucible of Courage powder, and I just didn't have it quite right, and I finally got it right. So I'm very pleased with how it came out. The smell, it's probably my favorite smelling thing I've ever made.
You
It's
always
just,
say that.
you know, each one's better than the last.
I'm really now. I really wanted. You're supposed to send me a cologne too. That
I
cologne
did.
you were talking about.
And then I did also, oh, that's that one.
Oh, that is that.
That's
Oh,
that
okay,
one. Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Same one. Same one. So we're staying consistent here. It was just that oil put into ethanol or whatever. And then I'm pretty excited with those Mercury Dimes for the Dead. I still have, I think, like 10 left. I took the link down, but if people hit me up, I can plug you with it. So I just ordered today the books that are going to come with it. It comes with a 20-page photo book of the whole ritual that was done for him, and then it
That
comes
was
with a
fast.
Bible. Oh, they'll be here. Don't. I'm fast with this. And then it also comes with. I have new labels to show off. I know you like the labels. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
I know you probably just saw this. I posted. This is the Roses for the Dead perfume. So each dime comes with a thing of Roses for the Dead perfume, a little vial. So this is all the offerings from my Santa Muerte altar for at least 6 months. And then that has been steeping in ethanol for about 18 months. So a really long, slow extraction of all those roses. And that's all that's in it, but it's amazing. So it's the dime, I got these really nice hard cases coming for them, and every single dime looks different because, you know, after all the work that was done to them, each one caught a different little accent. You know, the different processes stained them all in different ways. So they're really, really cool. You know, I mean, they're just powerful. You go around them and they're like powerful. That's why I want to ship it in a case. I was like, I can't just put this in a bag.
Right.
In a case with some.
Because I saw one of your one of the people said they could I don't know if it's the same dimes, they could feel it. They were very surprised.
Well, you know, it's funny because you said you could feel it coming off the dimes, and those dimes had just been sitting in my stash, like by my stuff. I hadn't worked the ones I sent you. But that last batch of, remember when I did the, we were live. It was during Bible study. When Mercury was
because you did yours and I did mine. I remember that.
No, that's the batch of dimes. I have 3 of those left. That's the batch of dimes. That now another person messaged me today too, and they said it was like electricity when they touched it. So that's what I've been trying to get to. That's why that's the time. That timing, that particular timing of working those dimes exactly then. I'm glad I put you onto it. Because
yes, man. I would never do anything different now.
There's you can find other, there's other good Mercury positions, you know.
But I mean, I like that, but just like because
it's like a slingshot.
It's like right.
Right as he's coming across the threshold and he's passing by, you're like, hey, buddy, let me get that. You zooming.
Right, and then even also that sigh of relief a planet has when it gets back into being direct.
Yeah, he's like really happy to be there.
Right. Wow. So I guess we can take some.
It's the only time that I felt I didn't have to give Mercury a license to depart, but like you gotta get going. You got shit to do.
Exactly. By all means.
He wanted to hang. Yeah. So we'll say what's up to the people tuning in.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Yasezi Bon Hugon,
Elias J. Casino, Virgil Rogue,
Emmanuel Medina,
Abba Obasi. Welcome everybody.
Sana Lee.
We're wrapped on the Bible study piece, but we're just talking the talk and walking the walk. So yeah, everything I'm putting out a bunch of fragrant things right now, and then the next thing I'm also putting out this week, and I haven't publicly announced it, but I'll announce it to the people here. I'm really just telling you, Doc. But that my backfire medicine, but that maximum deterrence formula, that one, you know how much work I put into that one. That one is, I basically have to fulfill because I formulated that for a client. That's that fetish that I showed you.
Right. You took care of that last night?
No, I gotta do that tonight. So it's buried behind the National Guard armory. So hopefully nobody shoots me because they're all on alert and all that stuff right now. In any case, And my bulletproof vest is not here yet. That's not going to be here till like next week. So, and I got to go get this.
Well, great time to try your bulletproof medicine.
Yeah, right. I didn't order any of it, unfortunately. So I got to go dig that up. And then once I deliver that to the client and take his portion of that medicine, then the rest of that medicine I don't know how much I'm going to have. But that stuff is really special. That has the pit bull bone. It has the spider crab. It has
the mongoose.
The mongoose skull is what I made the fetish out of.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not in the powder.
Okay.
It has the buffalo spine. It has all the roots I made for it, and the way I worked that entire thing from basically using Genesis 1 as the rituals template. And it was just incredibly powerful work. It's got that whole master root that I ground up in there. It has the elk antler in there. It's just
loaded
stuff. It's so loaded. And then all those fresh plants that I've been working, all that whole big order I did, all the stuff I have posted, all those fresh plants are in it. It's really something. And then the dirt that I got from the turnaround on the railroad, I worked that in a pot for 2 months to get that dirt ready to go in. It's really like it's probably the most work I've put into any single formula. And so I'm incredibly proud of it. That's why I'm talking about it so much. I don't know what else to say about that.
No, I'm excited because I know how you work. We talk back channel. Someone says, I've heard that spirit powder is only used for harmful work and want to know what are your thoughts on it.
Well, I'll tell you. Oh, and then someone's asking how you use the dimes. So spirit powders, no, you use powders for anything. If you're laying, you could use a love powder in someone's tracks. You could use a peace powder in someone's tracks.
What's spirit powder? What is that specifically?
Spiritual powders, I presume they're talking
about. Oh, okay.
I'm presuming. I don't fucking know. But no, powders is the most common form. Like if we have to exchange a formula between ourselves, we'll send it in a powder because it's so versatile.
Mm-hmm.
You could take it and you could add that to oil and then make an oil of it. You can take that and add it to alcohol and make a cologne of it. You can use just the powder, right? You can dust something with the powder.
No, if you're Afro-Caribbean, okay.
Don't even do this shit. Don't do this shit. He's talking post on Etsy that he can't get over because it's ridiculous. You can use it as a blowing powder. You can use it. You can, as I said on my post the other day. What do we say?
Emmanuel. Oh, Emmanuel. I know exactly who you got that from, and it is about as bogus as the one who gave it to you.
All right, Doc. I guess you really don't have to listen to the Bishop when you're on my channel. All right, how do you use dimes? The basic way to use a mercury dime is you warm it up in your hand and tell Mercury what you want. Mercury, really just carrying it will bestow its virtues. You can conjure directly with the spirit through it, feeding the dime to keep it strong. And what you would feed it would be Hoyt's cologne. Would be a good thing to feed these dimes. That's usually what I work them with. I fix the cologne before I do it. But even, again, just carrying that dime on you is going to open your roads. It's going to bring you luck. It's going to bring you skill. It's going to bring you eloquence. It's going to bring you esteem, prestige. People of power, people of reputation, people of gravitas will take a liking to you. And so this particular batch is very well specifically attuned to that. With the invocation I used from the Picatrix, all that stuff is in my profile. You can see the picture. It's the picture of the mercury dimes that have a yellowish stain. Now, if you're asking about the mercury dimes for the dead that I've made, that is, so the purpose of those that I don't think I ever explained to anyone, the reason I call them mercury dimes for the dead is they do for the dead what mercury dimes do for the living. They command the dead respect that token a great deal because of how I've worked it. So they want to get their hands on one. That's why it's a good payment or a good offering or a good way to communicate with them, because they do, when you give that to a spirit, that's like giving a worked mercury dime to a person. And so, because obviously a mercury dime is not going to do anything for a spirit, but the mercury dimes for dead are specifically, it's like converted that spiritual currency, as it were. Now, the copper mercury dimes I did, that was a very short run, and that was obviously because copper is the metal of Venus. So I prepared those for road opening for love. But I was speaking specifically of what I called the Mercury Direct mercury dimes. Those are those ones that I just did, again, as Mercury stationing direct, that people are saying they're feeling that charge off of. And then those Mercury dimes for the dead, the necromancy dimes. And again, if you're interested in those, I've pulled the links off my profile because I'm almost out of both. But frankly, I'm happy to keep all of those because they're really, really excellent. But if you're interested, DM me and I can hit you with a link to them. So that's what I'm.
Your site's up.
My site's up, man. All the links in my link in bio. When I go in the link tree and turn shit off because the list gets too long.
It's too long, yeah.
So it's kind of like, but you can go through and wander. People have been going through and exploring parts I haven't even designed of the site yet, which is fun. So are those good for your ancestor altars? Yeah, those mercury dimes for the dead are real good for your ancestor altars. You can use them for Santa Muerte, absolutely. I've given her a bunch of them. They are good to bury with a person. If I don't want to be morbid, but let's be real. So if someone passes, they're a great thing to bury with them. It's a great way to conjure with the spirit of the graveyard too. They're great. They're pretty pricey, so I wouldn't necessarily just leave it at the graveyard unless you had to do a major work. Now, Doc and I sacrificed the one I had. You can go on the website and read the story about what happened in brief, but Doc was there. I possibly saved both of our lives. Mm-hmm. This guy was going to fucking kill us. His spirit was not happy with us. And it was I just pulled that thing out of my pouch and gave it to him. And I would say things de-escalated from like an 11 and a half.
Very quickly.
A hot 6. We'll call that a hot 6.
A hot 6? Okay.
It wasn't all the way chill, but we went from like, yo, we are not going to leave this room. This man is going to kill both of us right now. To like all right, it was a little tension here, but we can make this work. That's Coyote Hot 6. We'll call it. Probably a whole hot 7.5. But yeah, that's what made me be like, okay, these are interesting. So I ordered. That was made with just a regular dime. And as you guys know, I like working mercury dimes. So I sent Troll Cunning Forge, our buddy who did the smithing on that, sent him mercury dimes to smith. He sent those back to me. And then I worked those dimes at the graveyard and at my Santa Muerte altar, again, to make them, frankly, they won't work as mercury dimes for people. They're not like if you were to just carry that mercury dime for the dead as a living person, it's worthless for you. Once you die, it's a great thing to have in your pocket. Maybe carry one always in case you're going to die. That has to be morbid, but nonetheless, that's why ancestor altar, yes, Santa Muerte herself loves them. Any dead spirit that you're trying to compel, if you want to just go to a graveyard and buy dirt, you'll get a really eagerly working spirit with that thing. You can also loan it to a spirit, and be careful with this. But if you're at a graveyard and you're trying to establish clearer communication with a spirit, the grave you're at, using that dime, depositing that dime on the grave, but be very fucking clear. If that spirit thinks that dime belongs to it, it will fuck your life up. Don't let it even be ambiguous. Make it really clear what you're doing there and who owns it, etc.
Why might you lend the spirit a dime?
I would lend the spirit that dime because, first of all, if it's a spirit that I want to build a relationship with,
mm-hmm.
So I might give it that for communication because it'll work again as a mercury dime from there. So if I have my mercury dimes, I might give the spirit that mercury dime, and then almost make a real clear channel between that. Another one might be if I want to give that spirit a little luck, meaning if it's working for me or I'm trying to convince it to work for me, I might loan it a dime as a token of what I have to offer.
So you loan them and not give it to them outright. So loaning means you have intention of collecting that back again.
Yes. Or if you'd like to hang on to it, we could come to an agreement. right? It's the free sample. Because when a spirit doesn't want to, yeah, that's a coyote.
I was about to say, this is very coyote. This is very coyote.
Because it's like, if a spirit doesn't want to necessarily fuck with you, right? I mean, they just aren't, they don't think you have anything they want. Whatever, whiskey, cigars, they're not interested. Oh, you only want special things? Let's do this. You hang on to this for a week. If you don't want it after that, I'll take it back and I'll actually buy it back from you with this, and this. If you're interested in keeping it, we can have a conversation. You know?
Very coyote.
And that's where...
That's a fresh trick.
I mean, that's basic salesmanship, baby. Take it for a test drive, you know.
You're right.
It's puppy dogging. Yeah, you puppy dog the spirit. Absolutely. I will use every bit of marketing and salesmanship I have on the spirit. Yeah. Come on. Just because it doesn't have a body doesn't mean I'm going to go easy on it.
Right.
But yes, that approach of free sampling. And then the other reason I might use it is if I'm doing, or might loan it, and this is not common, most people don't do this, but if I'm doing sort of the, I don't know, what I call pro bono necromancy, helping spirits out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you need I'm hearing you here, you're upset about this. This would help with that. I can let you hang on to this for so long. The other thing is you can give it to them, or you can load it to them on condition. I'll let you hang on to this as long as you're my guy in here.
That's what I was thinking more of. So when you said borrow, or when you said loan,
yeah,
that was akin to my mind.
But very much. As long as you're my guy in this cemetery, you keep things in order for me. You can hang on to this.
And you see that in other workings, like we're working with certain, like I've heard, again, I don't work for Saint Expedite, but I've heard that, like giving him a coin, as long as he does whatever. If it's not that, you take the coin from him or whatever the case is. Other ways of working with spirits in that regard. I'm very familiar with that. Yeah.
I mean, and using, the common thing that the way spirits react to currency is they kind of don't get it. They get it with these. Like, they see this is like currency of the necropolis.
Of the dead.
It's so, I mean, even when you look at them, they're not just silver dimes that are stamped with a skull anymore. That's how I got them from Troll. But they've been lit on fire, covered in wax, subjected to all these different treatments. They have died and been buried. They've literally been buried at the graveyard in exhumes. They having gone through all these treatments, they are more recognizable to the dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the same way, people who have come back from death see the dead a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly. And in the same way that something about the perturbance of the material illusion makes the dead clearer, yeah. So yeah, they're I'm excited to put them out. I only had like 25 of them or something. They're not, I can never mass produce anything. But I'm seeing now, and this is shocking to see, as I showed you before, I don't know that I can get wholesale candles anymore.
And this was weren't we talking about that within like 24 hours that happening? I mean, like within hours of having that conversation, you sent that to me. If we weren't a pair of prophets, I don't know any.
But now I'm like, real talk, like, what is going to happen for all our supplies?
So is our other spot locked up like that? I need to check right now.
I haven't checked, and I don't know if they have candles. I've found some places that appear to be open, but who knows? You might order something, and they might just never come.
Right, now, here's something else. So, Eventbrite, we can't use Eventbrite for a while. Did you get that notice?
No, we can use Eventbrite. They're just slowing down their payment schedule. We know that. Yeah, no, they're still doing events.
Well, because the host of the event I'm going to, that's what they were saying to me. I just got that message before I came live with you.
No, but they're holding on to payments for longer. Like, it's not the way it used to be. But yeah, this is having an impact for us, obviously.
We were just talking about that very same thing. When you sent it to me, I was like, you gotta be joking.
So advanced payouts has changed on Eventbrite. That's just a fun fact for you. But yeah, I mean, anyone who's watching who has Botanica wholesale access and can like actually ship me like cases of candles, we need to talk because I need a bunch of cases of candles. I could pour them myself. I guess I could get the wax and the dye and all that, but I was trying to like for this particular batch, not go through all that. But yeah, it's the good news is going to tell you who's a real worker and who just knows how to play with toys.
That's a word. That's a word.
I will sit there and fucking tie sticks together. You know, still get the same job done. A bunch of people are going to say they're out closed due to supply shortage.
You're not gonna see that going on here.
No, that's not, and that's, you know, I believe that may pave the way to give us some of the teaching opportunities. So T-Cherie Original Botanica is exactly who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I checked earlier today, and they are what did they say? They're
closed for maintenance. They said that.
It says, hold on.
Down for maintenance.
Due to the COVID-19 crisis, Original Products is suspending its wholesale division until further notice. We'll be up and running as soon as the crisis is over. Thank you for your understanding during these difficult times. And New York is real bad right now. They have the highest rate of infection in the world. So maybe now people in Florida don't seem to be giving a fuck. So I'm sure you could get it from our Florida place, get whatever you need, but also get a case of coronavirus with it.
What'd your friend say? We're not wearing masks, we're still shipping.
Yeah, we're not. We're out of masks, but we're still shipping. That's a little nerve-wracking right there, buddy. But yeah, it's going to start affecting things.
Like we said, like we had spoken about before, the supply chain.
Yeah, I mean, really straightforward. Now, our other place seems like they're all set. They're updating stuff. I got the weekly email from them.
Right, I did too.
T-Cherie, appreciate that. I just need a few cases of black candles for a specific project I'm doing for someone. So if that's possible, that would be dope. I imagine, again, all in New York is probably pretty fucked up right now. What else you got, Doc?
Our Sunday service Sunday was awesome.
Talk about that. I didn't even get your partake on Sunday service.
Well, since it's not recorded, we can say
it was phenomenal. The dead man rose up and talked to. Yeah, no, it was really cool though. I thought seeing the traditions blending together.
That was, oh my God. That was amazing. And it was a seamless. Yes, it was seamless. It was seamless. It was absolutely seamless.
Because it was exactly what it's about.
And we didn't really rehearse, like, we just said what we were going to do, but like the way it all flowed was unrehearsed, and yet it was absolutely synchronized.
Yeah, it was pretty perfect.
If you guys miss Sunday service, let that be the last one you miss.
Yeah, I mean, it's free. There's no excuse.
All you gotta do is register. All you do is register, and it's Zoom. So wherever you are in the world, whatever device you have, Android, iPhone, iPad, iMac, iBroke, whatever you got, tablet, smart TV, PC. Man, even if all you have is a landline phone.
Yeah, you can just dial in.
You can dial in, listen to his audio. So there really is no excuse. Just register. The link I know is in my bars. I think it's the first link up there to register for our services, and we have them scheduled all the way out to the 2nd, I think, of August.
I'll be
So,
honest, you got to click a lot of things to get that far out. I did not click that far out myself. I'm just saying.
oh,
I'll have to click more.
well, what I'm saying is we have these services scheduled. You can certainly choose which ones that you want to be notified of and a part of. We also take petitions. Sunday Bishop. Let me see. Can I? No, I can't show you any pictures. But
No.
they can go on your web. They can go on your Instagram. They can go on my Instagram. They can go on Bishop's
Well, know what?
Instagram.
I can do it right now. Hold on. I can do it on the laptop.
Okay.
Yeah, when we're done broadcasting, you can go right to my thing, and it'll be on my link tree, and you can register right there. And then to be a part of the petition, you just we ask for a small donation. It goes right to the church. Does not go to any of us individually. And that's what will help us kind of continue to fund and expand and make this thing happen. And I will turn that on right now, and it will be register Sunday service.
You still got the tablet
What tablet's that?
from the candles.
Oh yeah, I can go get that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna show them the one I got, the working that I did over here.
I don't want to disappear. Some one of us has to be on screen talking to these fine people. We can't both be blank screens.
Okay, well you go get the tablet. I'm the guest. I'll sit here and hold the space here. But yeah, it was awesome. It really was awesome. The first one we did even on Facebook. Now that one you still can find. I think it is up on YouTube. I think Bishop put it up on his YouTube as well. And he talked about, is it the end times? Is it the end of the world? That was the first address that he gave. And what I encourage all, I did, I went live as he was saying that. But you can go back on the Facebook page or on his YouTube and find it.
Okay.
And then last week, or Sunday rather, his address was about, there it is.
I don't know if you can see the Hebrew carved into it.
You might have to
mess with my light here.
Yeah. While you do that, then I'm gonna go and
I don't know. So what this was a bowl that was 17 dressed candles, everyone who signed up for the candle service. And they burned down and created this wax tablet, which is the common thing to engrave magically. So I went ahead and engraved the appropriate lines from Psalms 91, which is what I prayed over during the service, into the surface. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get it to show with this light. No. Well, I don't think we're going to be able to see it. We're not getting the right amount of detail. But in any case, so then I'll go ahead and bury this. And that will finish this work. And now those same people who made the one donation were included in Cosmic's work.
And here it is here. All right. So then we put them in this protection lamp, this iron protection lamp here. You can see all the strips of all the names there. The wick there. We added some lightning struck wood to that. We add some bulletproof medicine in there. We added some dragons. It was a lot. It was a lot. So that one's probably, I'm probably keep that one going till next week probably.
And then will people have an option to renew and continue, or
what, their donation or something?
Yeah, will they be able to keep? Are you willing to keep that lamp going? It's a great lamp.
Yeah, I am. I talked to Bishop about, because the link I have in my bio was the Cash App, but I know that PayPal does have reoccurring payments as an option, like a subscription.
Right.
So
we can just keep it going.
Yeah.
And that's such an easy way to keep going. Not that it's like such a convenient lamp. You're not going to break the lamp or anything like that.
And then so really the people, there was a $21 suggested donation, whether they gave or not. And what was so amazing about it was, um, what's so amazing is that those same people got included in Moses working. They got included in my working. Then they got included in Bishop. Bishop he fed his shoe and perpetuated his shoe.
Yeah.
I think he gave like four different prayers. One was to avoid misfortune. One was to deal with our enemies. One was, it was like four of them that he gave. For Eshu, and it was amazing. He gave Eshu OT and Jen and Red. Boy, Eshu was smiling. I mean, from cowrie shell to cowrie shell. Are you gonna do another lamp for the people that missed the first one? I don't know. I'm kind of led. We're all kind of led by the Spirit, and I guess I'll probably find out what Wednesday. We got a debrief on Wednesday. Did we ever get a time?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. But I will say, we will be doing something every week.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's never going to be like a you showed up, you paid,
Mm-hmm.
but you donated to the church and you're not getting. At minimum, we will pray for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that again, that's the other thing that Bishop said. And I stand by. And if you are not in a position to make a donation, definitely tell us, and we'll pray for you so you can be in a position to make a donation.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do. That's that. We're a not-for-profit organization, so it's not like a pay-to-play. It's not how faith works. So just let us know. Just show up. That's the most important thing. Pay attention.
There you go. If you can't pay anything else, pay attention.
Yeah.
So it was a great service. I really. And I'm excited about the next one.
Well, and just how much we get in it. It's so brief. It's,
Yes, and all we can get done. Look, we did 3 workings. So the order of service was, Faith gave a whole medical debriefing on coronavirus. Right. We did 3 different separate workings. Bishop gave an address. We had remarks from the ministers and from people that stood all within an hour. It was amazing, and nothing felt rushed, nothing felt compressed, or anything.
No. Yeah.
We get into like a time pocket or something, man.
We were just hitting it, man. It was perfect.
It was good stuff. So yeah, y'all definitely register. It was one of those things. Come and see. Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything but time, but attention. Pay attention. Come and see.
And I think people will experience something they did not know was I don't know. I think it's a unique experience to most people.
It is. Even people who have backgrounds in the church. I think people have not really seen,
because we're praying in Hebrew and feeding Yeshua also. And if you have a background in Judaism, then it's just like whatever your background
is exactly.
Broaden your horizon. But again, it's seamless. It all just there's not a feeling of these different things being
kind of clashed together. Right.
It's very organic and very, I don't know, wholesome is a word that comes to mind. I don't think, but it's just there's an integrity to it.
It's very good. And next time we will definitely record it. We'll definitely record it. And further, we've got more stuff that we're gonna be working on through with the Spiritual Church on.
What else are we working on, Doc? Refresh my mind.
Refresh your mind. Where's my list? We have like different stages here, phases and stages.
Oh, God. I mean, if you're getting all that, we'll just suffice it to say.
Right.
I'll say this. Beginning next week, you will be able to go to my profile and register as members of Holy Mountain Spiritualist Temple. And I am working on, if we get enough people registered and if people are willing to donate, getting membership cards That's something that we're working in
Mm-hmm.
Steady as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can be literally a registered card-carrying member. So your practices cannot be called into question. Your observances are clearly defensible. And depending on what your practices entail, they may be some things that essentially anything that state law is prohibiting, you are protected on the deepest level of the American Constitution because it's part of your religious practice. And conjure is a religious practice. Not only are we saying that, not only do we have the religious organization behind us, but again, we can point to scholarly research, we can point to books, we can point to academic journals that come to the same conclusion. And so we can happily extend that sort of protection to the faithful, straight up.
Absolutely.
If this is a practice that is part of your lifestyle in a matter of faith, then you should have these protections. And that's what we're here to extend and to preserve. Part of our mission is to.
So we're really on the front lines of this,
Yeah.
this endeavor, and really pioneering this campaign. Many have talked about it, many have winked at it, but the level of traction that we're getting in this, and people, when I tell you, like, they're just, it's an amazing time.
Is it on every front, on every level?
Yeah, it's just like, it's an amazing time. And you know, a lot of people, when they do things historic, they don't in the moment see them as historic. We look back on it and see what they do as historic.
Sure, you don't have the context to appreciate it.
Exactly. But I'm seeing right now in the moment, as we're going step by step, this is historic, right? This is going to change the landscape.
I didn't think about that until I realized yesterday or whatever, Bishop made a post that someone from the Caribbean is on this. You know what I mean? That people literally in nations from around the world, in Africa, in the Caribbean, were watching our service. We're receiving our blessings. We're being included in our work. And that's just so much. You know, that's and what is it, week 2?
Yes, just week 2. Just week 2. But you know, it says that the Lord added daily such as would be. So, you know, I believe that it is going to grow. I said this to Bishop before. One of the big things I hear all the time is, I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know this was a real thing. You know, I felt it. I desired it. I wanted it. I had inner convictions about it. But I thought it was just me. I thought it was just, you know, my weirdness or whatever. No, this is an actual, real, legitimate, traditional thing. We've got lineage to speak to this. Okay. And so if you are among those that we're speaking to, definitely connect. Check out Moses. Check me out. Go see Bishop. That time is now.
Especially now, like, again, to the post I made today. What are you doing this month? Right, you're stuck in your house. I'll tell you what. This is the first time in probably, right, knock on wood, because I don't want to get this thing all jinxed up. So once upon a time, I had a day to service each altar. Right, so Monday was Santo Nino, right? Sunday is Michael, you know. And then I got lazy and was like, well, I'll just do them all on Monday. People do it all on Mondays. I'm gonna do them all on Monday. Then I just got lazy and like did them once a month. I'm so far falling back into my rhythm of not only doing everybody, but on their day they get a fresh full glass of water at minimum, and a minimal acknowledgement at minimum. Even just keeping my ancestors' water topped off, keeping the fishbowl topped off with cold water, keeping that water cold. That's a devotion.
It is.
And that's something that we let slide, but being anchored in the home here and being sort of.
And this is what Bishop's message was about Sunday.
I know, it resonated so deeply with me, exactly. And it had already started happening. And that's exactly it. I'm doubling down on that. I'm stamping that, because that was my message today about ancestors. People, if there are people who are going to be watching this who do not have an ancestor altar.
Mm-hmm.
For 1 month, Amazon still works. You can have an ancestor altar by the end of this month. And I'll tell you the one thing people say, I don't have pictures, da-da-da. Get a piece of paper. Get a pen. I know you have that. Get on the phone. Everybody's home. Nobody's too busy to answer your call. And draw your family tree. Just do that. If you do that one thing this month, 3-4 generations back, that's huge. That's huge. Put a glass of water on that. Give it a white candle. That's as good as any. Have 100 fish bowls. That'll work. If you do have an ancestor practice, let's get back to that. The daily prayers, spending 20 minutes praying for them every day. I know we all did it when we set it up, and then you kind of slips, and then it's 15 minutes, and then it's 10 minutes, and then it's 5 minutes, then it's 1 minute, then it's 30 seconds on a day where you can manage it because everything's going good because they got your back because you have the relationship. But get back to it. There's time to spend quality time, and you need it now more than ever. Connecting with your spirits, maintaining your altars, that is the biggest challenge of this. I realize how many spirits I keep and how many, how it becomes hard to maintain a close working relationship with all of them.
Mm-hmm. This is why I tell people you really can't have, a yellow pages of spirits because the maintenance is like, I tell people it's like this. I said it's like people say, I got these many spirits. I said having spirits is almost like in the same way you have kids or you have pets. Well, you can have all of them when you want, but you got to feed them all. And when they shit, you got to clean up all behind the shit. And you got to take them all to the vet, and you got to make sure they have all their shots, and so on and so on and so forth.
Right.
And
I think it's like having wives in the Bible. Can you afford it?
Oh.
Right? Can you buy her a home and a wardrobe and servants and da-da-da-da? If you can, okay. Can you afford it in time with your spirit? I'll tell you, there's spirits who are on my family altar who I haven't even dared work with them in months because I know we're not on that grounding to get good work done.
I'll be honest with you. The spirit you sent me, the miner.
Yeah. He's ornery, but he'll work. He's one you loan the dime to.
Okay.
He's exactly the sort that you loan the dime to. But go on.
Yeah, man, I feel embarrassed. I can't even say he's been potted well. That's how bad it is. I can't even say he's been potted well.
Dude, I have dirt from Joe Lewis's grave sitting in a box unopened.
We are horrible. This is why I tell people. Listen, this is why when they said they're calling me and you elders, it's time to go get out the cave. It's time to go get Bishop.
Well, that's why we need to. They need to. That's why you need to tune in on Sunday.
Exactly.
Elders don't do this shit.
Somebody was like, "Yeah," I was like, "I see you," and I think it was a couple people said that. Millen said that. John said that. They were like, "Yeah, you and Margie Agua and Moses. I see y'all as elders in the community." I'm like, "Elders where?"
No.
I said, "Okay, no." That's how they called out the cave.
By the way, it's not that elders have more time to tend to 18 or 20 spirits. It's that they have the wisdom to not even start.
Exactly.
T. Sharia fishbowl with real fish in it? No, definitely not. A fishbowl of cold water. On the boveda, on the ancestor altar, in a lot of systems, you'll have 6 glasses in a fishbowl or 8 glasses in a fishbowl. The fishbowl is kind of like a reservoir for a lot of spirits to come through.
The fuente.
Is that the term, fuente?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, the fountain. The fuente.
Fountain.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of just part of it. It has no fish, zero fishing, but it's a glass fishbowl of water.
Only an absolute fool would have Joe's grave pit in a box.
You know what I'm going to do with it.
Yeah, I do.
And by the way, I can still get finger bones. Apparently, I can't get candles, but I do have 3 finger bones on the way right now.
It's amazing. Remember we were saying about when people are buying up stuff, it's interesting to see not what they got, but what they didn't get. It's just the same way. What's still in business versus what's not. It's really interesting.
Yeah. And you'd think there wouldn't be a damn candle on the land to buy if there's like, emergencies, but no.
If they're colored candles, they're just going to sit on the shelf. You're like, oh no, God forbid I bring a black candle into my house,
Now, shit, what else is going on, I guess? What else do we have to talk about?
Man, what do we have to talk about? Tarot Tinder, that's a thing I'm working on here.
That's fun. That's fun. I still got to try and see what if you don't know who your ancestors are or no source for your family history? Great question. Easy answer. So it's not accidental that you're physically made up, composed of your ancestors, that your DNA is their DNA, that they, again, reside in your head. Your ancestors' spirits reside in your head. It's not accidental that we experience these things we call intuition, that we call insight, that we call a gut feeling, that we call sudden gnosis or knowledge, that we call figuring it out, that we call inspiration.
Intuition, maybe.
Intuition. But again, what does inspiration mean?
Mm-hmm.
It has that
Inspirited.
For spirit, yeah, for their spirit to come into you and give you information. All this stuff that we know that we're not consciously thinking of. Because there are things we can deduce. There are things we can surmise. There are things we can calculate. There are things we can come to know. But then there are the things that, like, when my little kid, the example I always give, when she was like 3 or 4 years old, and was like, Dad, I think right is a boy and left is a girl. That's like profound esoteric knowledge. Nobody taught her that. Nobody taught her that. And that's the ancestors speaking through them. So point being, your ancestors reside in you. And if no one in your family liked each other, then that's in you. Then you will be divided against yourself. And it's going to cause certain things in your life. And so I see you saying that no one in the family liked each other. So then you don't necessarily have to put them next to each other on the altar, but you maybe create different little sections for each of them. Maybe they will have separate little glasses or something like that. But you need to pacify that, because then that restlessness, again, they reside in you. Whatever state they're in you. That is in you. So, and this is the same thing I say with people, caught a little heat for this one, but if your ancestors had a certain religious practice, let's say they were Catholic, okay, and you don't like Catholicism, you want nothing to do with it, etc., you're not going to be able to fully vibe with them. I'm not saying you need to be Catholic, but you need to go to church, know what that feels like, know what that sounds like.
You need context for how they're going to communicate with you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Otherwise, they're not. You need to do that for them. Well, because otherwise, that part of you that is inside you that is Catholic, and that part of you that is consciously the ruler of the throne, opposing it, you're going to be divided against yourself. You're going to be divided against yourself. We got all kinds of questions here, Doc. I'm seeing the 7 minutes.
We done stirred up the pot now.
Which is its own class. We'll do that separately. Protect yourself from bad ancestors. So to protect yourself from bad ancestors, prayers. Prayers for their elevation, but that they not come to your altar. When you pray to consecrate your altar, the power of your words, the power of your ancestors, the power of your prayers, completely commands the spirits of your ancestors. And if you pray for the bad, the harmful ones to be kept away, or if there are specific ones you want kept away, but I usually call all good and helpful spirits. That's kind of like a basic old school one. Good and friendly spirits, blessed ancestors, almighty ancestors,
Those who elevated.
Right, all who are elevated, because you're kind of like filtering by frequency. You're like, don't give me the ones who are all noisy and still mixed in with lower shit. Give me the ones that are real cleaned up, And yeah, there are prayers to invoke your bloodline, and you'll feel them. Another good thing is, a way to detect it is you'll be drawn. They'll guide you regardless, right? So they'll guide you to have a taste for certain cuisines or certain musics and things of that nature, and you will. That's for them, because they want that. Spirits who lived well and died well is a good one to summon. I like that. Okay, we got about 20 seconds left. We are wrapping here. I don't think we're going to do another one. Dude, that's 3 hours. That's a lot of content.
A ton of
Well,
content.
thank you all for tuning in. Obviously, check me out, check Cosmic out, follow us, follow Dr. Keone, and we will check you guys next week. God bless you all, and hopefully we'll see you Sunday.